is intact, meaning you go to the doctor for some symptom like a stomachache. The doctor asks a lot, asks about everything, how your life is, how your marriage is, how your relatives are, who you live with, if there are any psychological issues. That's how it turns out. It turns out to be a stomachache. There are two ways to approach it. One side is just the symptom. Like if it's a stomachache, then give medicine to stabilize something. On the other hand, the cause of the stomach issue has many reasons. It's the way we live, how our loved ones live, any conflicts with loved ones within the family, with our spouse. There is a type of doctor called holistic. They look at how we live, our relationships with those around us, with loved ones, how we live with our brother, how we live with work, etc. It expands into a broader picture for the issue of stomach pain. It's not simply about giving medicine for stomach pain, increasing or decreasing acid by this much, something like that. One side is very simple, just the symptoms, just treating the symptoms, meaning treating the surface, not the root, while the other side is about why this symptom occurs. They ask a lot. So the comprehensive way now is not very common. That's the way of Western and Eastern medicine, right? It means there is a cause. It's not just about the symptoms and not just treating the symptoms, but what the root cause is. Living in a family environment that's tense, with argument, stressful work, and marital tension, it will cause many symptoms in the body. That's the root cause, not just the reason. It's the main root, not just the symptom, right? The symptom is a stomachache, but why? What kind of environments? That is the approach of meditation, to look at it broadly like that. It's not simply just a stomachache. Why stomach pain? You see, after meditating for a long time, the mind is the root of many problems. It can be said that 99% of problems come from the way we think, the way we view life. If we live as an isolated individual, separate from life, it is very stressful, and many health issues arise from that stress. Then when we have disagreement with someone that we don't resolve, those things linger within us. The energy of anger, disagreement, frustration, hatred, resentment over time becomes illness. Worrying will cause the stomach pain. Those emotions are usually like that. Stress, worry, and then stomach pain. It's the lungs, affected lungs. Traditional Eastern medicine knows all about it. Which part is affected is due to what emotions, what the issue is. And asking, investigating, it expands. Resolving that psychological issue naturally changes the body, the energy flows, it circulates. Thus, meditation is about going to the root of the problem, not satisfied with just the symptoms, the surface. Go to the root.
Yes, if we look at ourselves, at our life in a general way like that, some expression in a general way, there will be many interesting answers. They will come unexpectedly because it's not just the environment, the air quality, it's not just the quality of food, it's not just
A genetic issue or something like that. It's a whole that is very difficult to understand, but actually, I find that the simpler our mind is, the simpler it is. What does that mean? The simpler it is, it means I know nothing at all. It means I didn't have any knowledge, don't have any beliefs. Okay, I approach everything, every expression, and I don't have any beliefs, or I don't cling to any beliefs. And clearly, I don't need to cling to any beliefs. I don't have any frame of reference to compare or to cross check. Because when comparing the story often follows the issues of the mind. So if we look from that perspective, from the perspective of a very simple mind like that, a very simple mindset, a very simple spirit like that, then we will see more things than a lens of biology, a lens of the spirit, or of psychology, or a simple lens
For example, meteorology.
Life will be divided into many areas, but if we only bring one color of one lens to look at expression, it will not be enough, and it will always be
missing other perspectives, missing other components.
Sometimes I watch a video where they say that living in a big city, people get this illness now. But when they move to a city near the sea, spending all day sunbathing and burying themselves in the sand, they feel better. Why do people have issues like that for many years, 4 or 5 years, or even a decade? And it's chronic and doesn't heal. They change their living environment and then they recover far away. So what are they far away from? Far away from a harsh family, for example. It is far from a difficult spouse, for example, far from the suffering that people have carried with them for a long time, well, far from an atmosphere that is too polluted, or away from something. But we can't conclude. But when people move to a different place, why do they change like that? But their health improves like that without needing any medication, and their spirit becomes refreshed. So what are they close to? What are they far from? If we look and say we only have, there is an external manifestation and we treat it immediately, then Western medicine is truly very strong. The Western approach is very strong, delving deeply into something and very skilled in delving deeply into something, researching something, for example. Very deep. But overall, it's still not enough. It's still not enough. Even if we can just change where we live. It might solve that illness for us, and then change, for example.
There are certain illnesses, for example, cancer. It is entirely caused by the environment. For example, if they live near a chemical plant, for instance, that releases toxic substances into the water, when people there drink the water, for example, they get cancer. That is entirely the environment. But there are other types where too much suffering, too much dissatisfaction within oneself makes the body, makes the mental environment, the spiritual environment within oneself polluted by those sufferings, then also get cancer.
But you see, the two sides are different. The reasons, the causes of cancer are completely different, right? Women often get cancer of the ovaries, breast cancer. Those are the things that
it could be from emotions, from unresolved issues in emotions, feelings, spirituality. It creates those tumors, chronic conditions, cancer. There are such places in the body. When we talk about this, we understand that some things are entirely environmental, not something spiritual. But there are things that are because of unresolved issues, emotions, traumas within oneself, in one's life. If you just leave it like that, eventually it will manifest, understand?